Okay, so I'll do parts D, E, and F in this video. These three parts, I think, you may disagree, are also not too bad. So we're still dealing with this function. A is a positive real number, and n is a positive integer, and n is greater than 1. Part D, state, so I don't have to do any working. Just write it down. The three solutions to the equation f dash of n of x is equal to 0. Now this was our derivative that we got from the previous part. The solutions to this, because we've got some factors, the solution to this equals 0 is either going to be, how can this be 0? For what values of x is this 0? Well, either this is 0, this is 0, or this is 0. As in this, or this. That's the only possible way that this can be 0, because n isn't 0. And one of them has to be 0. So the three possible solutions are either x to the n minus 1 equals 0, or a minus 2x equals 0. I am going to show a little bit of working, guys, just to make it clear, but you don't have to. Or a minus x is equal to 0. And then the solution of this is obviously, there's only one solution, x is 0. The solution of this is 2x equals a, x equals a over 2. And the solution to this, a over 2, and the solution to this is x equals a. That's it. That's the three solutions. 2 marks. Not too bad. E. Show that the point this on the graph of this is always above the horizontal axis. So that just means that show that this f n of, when x is a over 2, remember this is x, f of x, so a over 2. So when x is a over 2, show that this is positive. That's all they want to do. So it's above the x-axis when f of x is positive, essentially. That means, think about it, if this is an axis, when is the graph positive? Well, it's positive here, here, or sorry, it's above the axis here, 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 everywhere, and it's below the axis here. And what's the y coordinate here? Well, it's positive. What's the y coordinate here? It's negative. So I basically just have to show that the y coordinate, or the f of a over 2, is positive, and it's always positive. So I need to sub a over 2 in here. So I get a over 2 to the power of n times a minus a over 2 to the power of n, and this equals a over 2 to the power of n times a minus a over 2 is a over 2, so it's a over 2 to the power of n. You could make this a over 2 to the power of n squared, and then obviously anything squared has to be positive. But it's even easier than that. You don't even need that, because a is positive and n is positive, so this is definitely bigger than 0. This is greater than 0, and you have to write, because it says show, guys, you have to really explain this. Now this is kind of, you may look at this and go, well, that's actually obvious. This is obviously bigger than 0, but you have to say why, so that's important. So it's greater than 0 as a is positive, and, well, why don't I just say as a and n are positive. Therefore, always above x axis. Done. Part F. Hence or otherwise, show that f dash of a over 4 is greater than 0 for, again, positive z's. So I have f dash of x, so let's just get f dash of a over 4. And again, hopefully, we can just show that it's bigger than 0. So f dash of a over 4 is equal to n is just there, times a over 4 to the power of n minus 1 times a minus 2 times a over 4 brackets a minus a over 4 to the power of n minus 1. Now again, I think this is pretty obvious. This bit has to be bigger than 0, because I just have to show that this whole thing is bigger than 0. Well, a over 4 to the n minus 1, this is greater than 0, for sure. This is just a minus 2a over 4 is a over 2, so this is just a minus a over 2, which is again a over 2. That's positive for sure. And finally, this is 3a over 4, because it's a minus a over 4 is 3a over 4 to the power of n minus 1. So this is positive. So again, it says show that this is greater than 0 for positive, for n is a positive integer. Well, I'm just going to say greater than 0 as a is greater than 0 and n is greater than 0. So as a and n are positive. Now that's okay. That's enough, because look, obviously, if a is positive, this thing has to be positive, this thing has to be positive, and this thing has to be positive. And if n is positive, this has to be positive. So the whole thing is positive. Therefore, f. I'm just going to write that down. Therefore, f dash of a over 4 is greater than 0 for n element of positive integers. Okay, done. That's it. I'll do G in the next video.